2024 meeting of TAC Planning. My name is Gina Midico from Dakota County. I'm the TAC Planning Chair. We have a couple of business items to cover today, but the first order of business is approval of the agenda. Does anyone have any proposed changes to the agenda? Okay, not seeing any. With that, the agenda is approved. The next item on the agenda then is to approve the minutes. Hopefully everyone had a chance to take a look at those. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
This is Lindsay Brewer from MnDOT. I'd make a motion to approve the minutes.
Okay, thanks.
David Burns, second.
Awesome. We have a motion by Brewer, a second by Burns. Any further discussion or changes? Okay, with that, we'll take a roll call vote. All those in favor say aye when Jed calls your name.
Jack Forsland. Dan Ruiz.
Aye.
Whitney Schroeder.
Aye.
Charlie Howley. Gina Midico.
Aye.
Chad Ellos.
Aye.
Bridget Reef. Patrick Boylan. David Burns.
Aye.
Patrick Haney.
Aye.
Kathleen Mayall. Lindsay Brewer.
Aye.
Innocent Ao. Kevin Roggenbuck.
Aye.
Bill Dermody. Or I think
I'm sitting in for Bill. This is Anton Jervy. Aye.
Terry Dill.
Aye.
Grace Almeida. Elaine Katsukos.
Aye.
Sarah Allen.
Aye.
Chris Hartzell.
Aye.
Chair, there were 13 ayes, no noes, and no abstentions.
Thanks, Jed. The next item on the agenda is public comment. Do we have anyone here that has public comment on committee business?
Chair, no members of the public signed up.
Okay, great. Thank you. With that, we will move on then to the first business item, which I think David has a presentation for, and it is the adoption of the 2025 Unified Planning Work Program, also known as the UPWP. So with that, I'll turn it over to you, Dave.
Great, thank you, Chair. Let me just go ahead and share this PowerPoint. Okay. So here today to present to the committee the draft 2025 Unified Planning Work Program. So really, the purpose of the UPWP, it's one of our federally required documents. It describes all of our transportation planning related activities throughout the coming year. And that includes kind of staff activities, as well as consultant studies and purchases that assist in the planning activities throughout the course of the year. It does reflect our transportation planning policies and goals expressed in the TPP, as well as kind of addressing issues and concerns expressed by our state and local planning partners throughout the course of the work. So logistically, it does describe this planning work in kind of categories, identifies the products that will come from the work, and includes consultant planning work and costs associated with that consultant planning work. And importantly, this does serve as an application for federal transportation planning funding from USDOT. Both FHWA and FTA money go into it. And we, upon approval, will submit this to MnDOT, who will provide it to USDOT for final approval. Just briefly kind of how it's organized, there are 6 major categories: the planning programming process, model systems planning, and you can read the rest. Each category includes kind of a staff number of weeks, so the time and then the cost associated with that staff, as well as consultant expenditures. So we have an example right there of activity D, which is travel, research, and modeling, the 2 new consultant studies for 2025, as well as the consultant studies continuing into 25 that were started prior to 2025, and some membership and contract purchases. It also does include the total number of person weeks in that category for all of those transportation planning activities, and the personnel costs associated with that based on their salary. So in total, we have 12 studies that are either underway or will be underway in 2024 that will continue into 2025. You can see those kind of organized by those work activities, and 11 new planning studies for 2025 are included in this draft UPWP. So obviously a lot of studies underway. I think that's 23 total. And then, of course, because of that, we do have a rather large consulting budget. I just wanted to note here, this is a relatively recent federal requirement. MPOs, such as the council, must allocate at least 2.5% of our budget to complete streets activities. So we identified some tasks associated with complete streets, which include, highway planning, freight transit, bike ped planning, transportation land use, etc., and did an estimate of the associated staff costs with those activities, and it's something like 20% of our federal allocation. So we're well above that 2.5%. Here is the draft budget. You can see it here by task. We have a total of 1,528 staff weeks. You can see the salary associated with that. Consultant costs of about 2.1 million, especially after including that memberships and contract purchases, and a total budget of about 8.2 million. So this is higher than it's been in, well, I think probably ever, but it's been a consistent pattern where we have received a little bit more federal funds year after year. Okay, there have been some changes since we posted this for TAC Planning. We did receive some comments and requests from MnDOT and FHWA. And because of this, we added that new Appendix D, the federal planning factors, where we look at the federal planning factors and how well they're addressed within our UPWP. We have a list of acronyms now included in the new Appendix E, and we did finalize that complete streets budget. And there was also a schedule change due to many of our staff being at the annual Association of Metropolitan Planning Organizations conference in Salt Lake City. We're moving the Transportation Committee date back to October 14th, and then the Met Council hopeful adoption date to October 23rd. So moved it back a couple of weeks, and we did get approval from MnDOT, or assurance from MnDOT that still fits their schedule. And I will just note here that this will be the updated version of the UPWP reflecting these changes will be brought to TAC on September 4th. And the public comment period is going to run from tomorrow to the end of August, 8:30. And that is unchanged from what we have in our business item. With that, I am open to any questions, and our motion is to recommend TAC Planning to recommend to TAC to approve the draft 2025 UPWP.
Thanks, Dave. Does anybody have any questions or comments? Dave, maybe I have a question for you because we're reviewing the TPP right now. That will be out for public review soon, and that has its own UPWP chapter. Or element. Is it a chapter or an element? I guess I don't know. But how does this relate to that? Is it the exact same document? I did not compare them side by side.
So that I think. Thank you, Chair. We do have work activities for implementing the transportation policy plan, and that is a work activity, I believe, under Activity C. So that is any additional work to complete the transportation policy plan, which I believe has an adoption date of around February of 2025, as well as kind of implementing that in the planning process. So it's work related to the implementation of the transportation policy plan.
Okay, but the work identified, sorry, the UPWP that is part of the current draft transportation plan would include work that will be undertaken in future years after the plan's adoption?
Correct, yes.
Okay. Anyone else have any questions or comments? Would anyone, this is a business item, would anyone like to make a motion for a proposed, for an action?
I'll make a motion. Ruiz, Brooklyn Park.
Okay, thank you, Dan. Do we have a second? And the motion would be, I guess, would it be the requested action proposed by staff?
Yeah, a motion
To adopt
approve what's recommended, yeah.
Okay, so, and that would be to adopt the 2025 UPWP and budget and authorize the regional administrator to enter into an agreement with the state DOT for distribution of FHWA and FTA planning funds.
I'll second that. It's Chris Hartzell from Woodbury.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Okay, seeing none, Jed, can you please take the roll?
Forsland, Ruiz,
Aye.
Schroeder,
Aye.
Howley, Minico,
Aye.
Kochek, or Elos,
Aye.
Brief, Boylan, Burns,
Aye.
Haney,
Aye.
Mayell, Brewer.
This is Kelsey Foat staying in for Kathleen Mail. Aye.
Got it. Lindsay Brewer,
Aye.
Innocent AO,
Lauren Dickerson in behalf of Innocent AO. Aye.
Rockenbuck,
Aye.
Dermody,
This is Anton Jervian for Bill. Aye.
Dill,
Aye.
Almeida, Tsukos,
Aye.
Allen,
Aye.
Hartzell.
Aye.
Chair, there were 15 ayes, no nos, and no abstentions.
Thank you, Jed. Our next business item is a functional classification change request from the city of St. Paul. And I don't believe we have a presentation, correct? Or Dave, do you kind of walk
Yeah,
us through this?
I don't have a PowerPoint, but I will discuss it and just provide some information and open it up for any questions that we might have. And we also have Anna Potter here from the city of St. Paul, who submitted the application and is here to answer any questions that I might not be able to have the insider knowledge to answer.
Thanks, Dave. Yeah, if you want to go ahead and walk through that, that'd be great.
Absolutely. I'm just going to go ahead and I think I'm going to share the map here and I'll just kind of talk about it as we go through it. And I want to say I'm a little excited about this because it's been a very long time since we've had an official functional classification change request, because we had that sort of statewide evaluation as well as the functional class study that was completed at the end of 2023. So this is our first actual request in quite a while. And this is for 5th and 6th Streets in downtown St. Paul. You can kind of see them here in that dark purple color that's a little bit wider than the other streets. This is a one-way east-west pair in downtown St. Paul. The request is a change from a major collector to what is now known as a minor arterial with an augmenter sub-designation. And for 5th Street, it's from West 7th to Wall Street. That's the southern street here. And for 6th Streets, it's from Smith Avenue to Wall Street. So as you can see, these provide direct connections to I-94. They distribute traffic from downtown St. Paul to the interstate system. Of course, there's a large regional job concentration here in downtown St. Paul. They accommodate major transit routes, have AADTs somewhere between 6,000 and 8,000. And so really this meets the criteria for a minor arterial with the sub-designation of augmenter in terms of things like speed limit, access to the interstate system, accommodating short to medium trips, and connections to regional job centers. Augmenters are meant to supplement the principal arterial system in densely developed urban areas, which is why this makes sense as the augmenter sub-designation. As you can kind of see here on this map, currently downtown St. Paul has really comparatively few minor arterials than downtown Minneapolis. So really this change would be consistent with the functional classification we see in downtown Minneapolis, or more in line with what we have. And really these proposed changes more closely reflect the characteristics of this one-way pair, as well as the function of the roadways. So really our recommended motion here is that the TAC Planning Committee recommend TAC approval of the functional class change request from major collector to minor arterial augmenter for 5th Street and 6th Street in downtown St. Paul. And with that, I am open to any questions. And as I stated, we also have Anna Potter from St. Paul here.
Thanks, Dave. Any questions from the committee? Anna, is there anything that you would like to add that we didn't cover? No pressure, but just in case there was anything you wanted to say.
I agree with everything David said. He did a fantastic job sort of explaining the reasoning behind the request. I will additionally share, these are two very important corridors for downtown St. Paul. They're probably the corridors that when you come here, no matter which mode, you will probably be on one of these corridors, particularly by transit. Both streets have a dedicated bus lane for the direction that it travels in. And, you know, the real impetus here is we want to recognize that importance and have its functional class match that importance and that purpose so that we can finish the capital improvement along both of these corridors that it really needs. We've just had a lot of investment on both corridors for transit stations, for Gold Line stations, for B Line stations, and those are fantastic. There are a handful of blocks between those transit stations that really need that improvement as well to finish the complete corridor and have it match its purpose of that minor arterial. So that's really the impetus for the request. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Anna, for attending the meeting. Anyone else? Kevin, is that, do you have your hand up?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. Just wanted to ask a question about the limits of the request. It goes as far east as Wall. It looks like, is part of 5th and 6th and Broadway already an augmenter? So as I squint looking at the map, I can't quite tell.
So great question. Thank you very much. Actually, as part of that system-wide change that was implemented last year, Wall Street went from sort of that other arterial, previously known as B minor category, to an augmenter, or a minor arterial augmenter. So Wall Street is currently an augmenter. You can see that it has direct access to the ramps there. And so this actually goes from interstate to interstate, or interstate to Wall Street, which has the direct connection to the interstate. But right now, that entire dark purple bold line is currently classified as a major collector.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Any other questions or discussion or emotion? Anton?
I would make a motion to support the recommendation.
All right. Thanks, Anton. Do we have a second?
This is Kevin Roggenbuck, Ramsey County. I'll second the motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? All right, seeing none, Judd, can you please take the roll?
Forceland. Ruiz.
Aye.
Schroeder.
Aye.
Howley. Mitico.
Aye.
Ellos.
Aye.
Reef. Boylan. Burns.
Aye.
Haney.
Aye.
Bott.
Aye.
Brewer.
Aye.
Dickerson.
Aye.
Roggenbuck.
Aye.
Jervy.
Aye.
Dill.
Aye.
Almeida. Katsukos.
Aye.
Allen.
Aye.
Hartzell. I see his message. Chair, there were 15 ayes, no noes, and no abstentions.
Okay, thank you. That was the rest of our business items. We do not have any information items. Any other business from the committee members? Cole.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Cole Henniker, Multimodal Planning Manager at the Council. Since TAC Planning didn't meet last month, I just wanted to give you an update that the TPP draft did go to TAC with some of the changes that this committee recommended, and then it went to TAB. Both groups passed it unanimously. It also went to the Met Council Transportation Committee in late July, and just FYI, it's scheduled to go to the council next Wednesday. That is the official final action to release it for public comment. Those materials aren't live yet, but they should be in the next couple hours or maybe early tomorrow. So if you wanted to start reviewing the TPP, I guess unofficially, because there'll be a full dedicated website with the materials, but the public comment period then starts next Thursday. So just to follow up on that, it's been 2 months since you all voted on it, but that's what's happened on that process, and we're getting really close to having a final draft to post for public comment. So thanks for all your help on that again.
Thanks, Cole. And a reminder that the public comment will close then. It's October, is it October 7th?
7th, correct. And there is both a, it's a website that's a software program called Social Pinpoint that has some facilitated ways to give feedback. But I think for government agencies like yourselves, we're likely anticipating letters or emails, whatever format works for you all. Don't feel like you have to use the more public facing engagement tools. So any way that means that you want to submit comments is okay to us. There'll be more details on that on the website.
Thanks, Cole, for that update. Anyone else? Okay. Seeing none, unless I'm missing something in the chat. Nope. All right. Well, with that, we will adjourn and possibly see you next month. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.